It's your boy, Fat Fool, man. We here for the culture. I got my guy, Varsity High here, man.
What's up?
Tell him where you from, man.
Shit, I am from Rapid City, South Dakota. That's where I came from, not where I'm born. I'm an Air Force brat. I've been all over the world. Yeah, so that's basically it.
What do you do?
I rap, I produce, and I engineer. I produce and engineer the best, though, if you want to know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
As far as the producing, what are you producing off of?
I produce on Pro Tools.
On Pro Tools. I come across a lot of guys still using Logic. How do you feel about that?
I never really used Logic. I used to use Cubase before Pro Tools, and before Cubase, I used to use Fruity Loops. Before that, I used a program called Cool Edit Pro. If any of y'all know about that, I used to just chop samples up and make beats in there just by chopping shit up.
Called Cool Edit Pro?
Cool Edit Pro.
Oh, Cool Edit Pro.
Yeah.
No, I never heard of that.
It's a long time.
I'm gonna check on it. Oh, so it's probably like an outdated program now.
Yeah, it might still have it, I don't know.
That's dope. So any artists you've been working with lately? Any material that you want to kind of like talk about, shout out?
I am
what you got coming up?
I'm currently working with Classy, I don't know if you know him, and Maggie. I don't know if you know him. Maggie's an incredible singer. Classy, he's a great rapper. And we've just been kicking in the studio lately, and we're just about to show you guys some new shit soon.
Good. As a you said producer first, right?
Yeah.
As a producer, how do you feel about a producer union? Have you heard about Sunny Digital setting that up?
Producer union?
Yup, to make sure you get paid.
Boy, that sounds like the greatest idea. I hate hearing stories about these big name producers not getting their checks and stuff. Like, that's crazy. That's very crazy how people just feel like they can just take your music and then run off into the sunset with it and feel like they don't owe you nothing.
You see, since before the culture, we're going to get into that, man. How culture has changed, and they forget how the producer slash DJ slash innovator, the guy who makes everything happen, is now just a hype man to the project, you know? And do you blame the culture for that? What do you think is the reason of that?
I think the reason for this whole thing is that, like, getting these programs to make beats is more accessible. Everybody can get it, so now everybody who wants to rap will try and make beats, you know what I'm saying? Or people will just be like, I can make beats. I used to have friends that were like, I can make beats, and we started at the same time, and they couldn't.
They were garbage. I tried myself. It's like flying a plane. I swear, it's too many. It's like flying a plane, man. I'm like, this is dead.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the program, but as far as the creative part of it, like, the program, you can learn that shit. It's not about that. Like, it's just about the creative part of it.
Okay.
Like, you can figure out how to make a beat, but is it gonna sound good? Like, if you're hitting notes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just not gonna mesh. So with the project, wasn't it Maggie?
Maggie.
How'd you meet them?
Doing the show, Vibe Night with Classy, he promotes the show. I met him, and we just kind of started really working like last week, really. Yeah. Cause I'm like, I got a studio in my crib, man. What's up?
And y'all link. That's how the magic always happens. That's how the magic always happens. I feel like with producers today, the more intimate, the more better. When you meet up with a guy from another state and y'all go to the studio, it's very stiff.
That's never happened. And I'll tell you guys right now, like, I used to produce for this guy named Bobby Creekwater.
I know who that is.
Yeah, I used to produce for him, and when I moved here, right, it's like every single time I send him a beat, it's not the same. Like, he'd be in the studio when I make the beats, and he catch a vibe. It's not the same when I send you a beat over the internet. I don't even know what your face looks like when you're listening to the beat.
It's weird.
I want to see your face when you're listening to the beat, basically.
Yeah, we could be sending it to aliens. It's crazy. So, over the years, what have been your pitfalls as a producer? How come you haven't made it yet to be a millionaire, billionaire producer?
I think just being naive, really. Yeah, just being naive. Trusting people, because I definitely got dusted.
With that being said, I got a question for you about culture today. So I read a report about Michael Vick speaking out on Kaepernick, saying that he should basically clean his image. It's a bunch of stuff he said, but just basically clean his image. How do you feel about that?
I feel like, you know, Kaepernick got a good image. He just, you know, he won't stand up for the, you know, what do they call it? I don't even like it. The Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's his whole hold up. You know, you got other people that are coming in the league playing that are worse than him. So he doesn't need to clean up his image. He's got a good image. It's not like he's a criminal. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. Like, but
it's the national anthem. That's what it is.
National anthem.
Just the national anthem. You know, he's obviously mulatto or something. You know what I'm saying? A mix of something, but like he can resonate. I seen him go to Africa. He can resonate as I'm not American. The way you do me, the way you might employ me right now.
Yeah.
I'm not American. I don't know if that was his MO, but I feel like he didn't do nothing wrong. Like he could have been fasting. He could have been on some type of Muslim shahada. You know what I'm saying? He could now start taking his shahada and like, man, I can't represent none of this. Although I'm on the journey, so I have to play. I feel like because Michael Vick went through what he went through, nobody can speak on this but Michael Vick. You know? Yeah. And if he says that he has to clean his image to get his job back, I think Michael knows the potential that he has. It's crazy because Brock Osweiler has a job and not Kaepernick.
It's hard. It's a shame. I think Michael Vick is kind of looking at his situation more than his, you know, than Kaepernick's situation. He's kind of looking at what brought him out of the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was way, way worse.
Yeah, Cap don't even have charges on him.
Yeah. No charges. Like, he didn't do anything illegal. So.
Think he'll come back?
I hope so. I hope so. I don't know. It's up to the powers that be. Okay. And we know who that is.
You on Instagram? Have you been tuned in with Instagram?
I don't really go into Instagram like that, but I am on Instagram.
Swiss Beats has been battling producers lately. Like, yeah, it's crazy, right? He's been battling, he battled, what's my guy? Timberland. It was crazy. He's on the ground. It's on YouTube as well. And he also battled Just Blaze. Murdered Just Blaze, by the way. You should check into that. Y'all should check into that, man.
Swiss Beats murdered Just Blaze.
Yeah, man. Crazy. Just Blaze came with some all soft, classical music.
See, that's where
Swiss Beats came.
That's where you mess up when you battle. Like, when you battle on beats, you gotta have that hype shit. Like, nobody want. I don't understand that. That's why I never really like beat battles that much, because I'm like, I don't have a whole bunch of hype shit.
What producers in the future would you like to work with?
In the future, like, there's only a few producers that I'd like to work with. I would love to work with Timberland. I would love to work with Dr. Dre. That's pretty much it right there. Maybe Pharrell.
Maybe Pharrell?
Yeah, maybe Pharrell.
Pharrell should be a definite. You, where can they find you at?
They can find me in Orlando, Florida. In
Orlando, Florida? What about social media handles?
We got Varsity_High at Instagram, Varsity_High at Twitter, Varsity High, Facebook, VarsityHigh.com. And that's HI for the high.
HI for the high. Y'all hear that right there. So y'all go follow my guy, man. Got good material. I'm vouching for the culture. I don't know why. Fool is Team McGregor. Conor McGregor, Mayweather? Mayweather. Hey girl, you sexy as hell too, girl. You had the right answer, shawty. What part is he from? Southeast. Oh. Southside. They say who? Conor McGregor or Mayweather? Conor. Real shit, y'all. They talking about Conor gonna do it, y'all. Conor McGregor or Mayweather? You don't know, right?
How do I know it?
Okay. How do I know anything?
Fuck Mayweather, bro. I want to crack whoop his ass.
I hear that, man. I want him to beat him too, man. Mayweather? Y'all being biased, man. No.
Checking out the moves that you display. You got me wide open. You got me wide open.
McGregor or Mayweather?
Conor McGregor, that's a fact.
That's a fact?
You gonna go with Conor? Everybody say Conor, dog.
Mayweather.
Mayweather gonna knock him out?
Yeah.
You know nigga can knock out Mayweather?
Yeah.
So how the fuck Conor? Man, you anything, man. Hey man, free this man young nigga, dog. Conor McGregor or Mayweather. Then maybe you gonna knock him out. The white boy? Fuck that nigga. Conor McGregor or Mayweather.
It's gonna be fucking McGregor, dude. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Watch a UFC fight and then fucking try to tell me that boxing is anywhere near that shit, man.
Say that again, Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather.
Because what?
Because he called his monkey.
Fuck Conor McGregor calling his monkey.
Not Mayweather. Wait.
I said, Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I heard it, yeah.
Bless your heart. Y'all can say it right.
Got it.
McGregor? Yes. Conor McGregor or Floyd Mayweather?
McGregor, that's baby daddy.
Ooh, she's that name.
On both sides though, because I've hung out with McGregor.
You hung out with McGregor in Vegas?
That's the thing. I hung out with him before. Like I've met him and I hung out with him before the days and stuff like that. I've met him. Yeah. So it's just like.
But then you supposed to be like McGregor gonna whoop that ass.
But I've been around Mayweather too.
Doing too much, rubbing niggas' heads.
Yeah.
We in downtown Orlando. We out. Into the streets.
It's your boy Fat Fool once again, man. We with my dog Ken Miller. Whoop, whoop, whoop. My man funny as a motherfucker, y'all. I want y'all to know, when I seen him in the lobby, I said, man, this dude, he don't look funny. But then as soon as I hear him say what's up, I said, oh yeah, he funny.
Yeah, man. It's because people give you that. They're like, man, you don't look funny. Like, what I'm supposed to look like? Like, what funny look like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look, my glass is crooked. That's not funny to y'all. My glasses are crooked as hell, man. But, you know. I get that all the time, but I've been doing this for 11 years professionally and been funny forever.
Where'd you start?
I actually started in Orlando, Altamont Springs.
You from this area?
No, I'm from North Carolina, man.
What part?
Greensboro, born and raised Tar Heel, man. I spent 9 years in the Army. Got out the Army, moved down here in 2004.
Yeah.
A couple years after I started doing stand-up, man. I've been doing stand-up about 11 years now.
Was it hesitant for you to get into the craft or to the business?
Yeah, because the hardest thing about stand-up is getting in front of people.
Okay.
Getting in front of a group of people you don't know to make them laugh is the hardest thing about stand-up. A lot of comics, we've been funny forever.
Your whole life, people.
We've been funny forever, but to put together 5 minutes to make people laugh, that's the hard part. So what I did was I just took a bunch of my coworkers. I used to work for Nextel.
Right.
And I took like 60 of my coworkers, right? Get there, kill, what we call in the industry kill, we have a good set. But the host said, come back next week by yourself, don't bring nobody. Came back next week and I bombed. And bomb means you did bad.
Oh, man.
And after that I said, this is it, I'm gonna do this for a living. So I just started going to open mics and started my own open mic. And so I got my own room on Monday nights at the other bar downtown Orlando at 9 o'clock, and then I'm on the road usually 35, 40 weekends out of the year.
The other bar, that's Wall Street.
Yeah, on Wall Street, yeah. We got an open mic, starts at 9 o'clock every Monday, go from 9 to 11. Used to put about 20 comedians up. Every Monday is a different host. So that gives the opportunity for young comics to get some time of learning how to host, and I also pay them. So they give us stage time of teaching them how to host the show. And it's 2 hours long. You get 20 comics, and then whatever comics don't go up that Monday, they get bumped to the next week. So each week is a different show. You get a different show every week. And most people, if it's your first time, I buy your first drink. Because I'm usually outside getting drunk.
Usually outside getting drunk. That sounds like a good, like win-win right there, man. I want to.
It's a party, man. We do an open mic comedy from 9 to 11, and from 11 until they close, we play old school 90s hip hop, and with my people dancing. The vibe is great. You know, I tell people all the time, you cut that old school 90s on, people walk by and they stop, like, what's going on in there?
Yup.
And then they want to come inside and see what's going on. So, man, we've been successful for 7 years. We're the second longest comedy open mic in Orlando.
Good. Have you did any shows back in Greensboro?
Yeah, actually, I'm going home next weekend, the 29th and 30th. I'm at the Greensboro.
Yeah.
I'm going home.
Greensboro Comedy Zone.
Yeah, the month before that I was in Raleigh. I did Raleigh, North Carolina, which is about an hour and 15 from the house. So, but yeah, I go home usually once a year to do stand up. But most of the time, man, I'm up and down the East Coast, Midwest. I made it to Cali once. That was for the last Comic Standing auditions. And other than that, man, I'm up and down the East Coast.
I've never really had a one-on-one with a comic, right? How do you feel about writers with the comment? Per se.
I got no problem with that.
You don't?
Every comedian runs a joke by somebody. Comics have writing sessions all the time. They do. We get together, we bounce stuff off each other, or just in a conversation. We'll be talking,
drinking,
and somebody say something funny and do like, yo, can I have that? Like, yeah, that shows. Like, we do it all the time. We do it all the time. I open for Paul Mooney. You guys know Paul Mooney.
Paul Mooney, the legend.
Paul Mooney wrote for Richard Pryor. Yeah. That's a well-known fact in comedy, but nobody said Richard Pryor had writers. Every comedian has, especially when you get that big, when you get to Kevin Hart status, you're going to have some guys that help you write or bounce ideas off of. That's the Plastic Cup Boys. Them is dudes. So there's nothing wrong with that. I wrote with a group called the Box of Chocolates Comedy Tour. It's me, Preacher Lawson, Justin Lawson, Akeem Woods. We bounce stuff off each other all the time. We take 4 or 5 hour road trips. We're joking and we're like, yo, that's funny. But what you should say is this, and what you should do is this. Well, when you say it, make that face. You know, comics do that all the time. That's nothing new. If there's a comic out there saying they write 100% of all their material without zero help, I find that hard to believe. That's my opinion.
I always thought Dave Chappelle was like that until I discovered Neil Brennan.
Yeah, but even Dave. But like I said, I ain't saying that Neil wrote Dave.
No, he didn't write.
I'm just saying Dave can come up with a joke and call Neil or call Chris Rock and say, hey man, look, I just wrote this. What you think about this? And they'll say, oh man, that's funny, but what you should say is this. That's a difference between having somebody come ghostwrite your whole song. Right. You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? So it's a difference from that. You know, comics do that all the time. We have writing sessions all the time where we help each other. So yeah, we have friends that help us write. That's been in comedy for years, man. That's nothing new.
Think Robin Harris had writers?
He may have had people help him, but like I said, writers.
Had some drunks with him.
Yeah, writers like writing his whole set, probably not. But to bounce a joke off of somebody, that's always done. That's not new in stand-up, man.
Who's your all-time favorite?
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock?
Chris Rock is my all-time favorite comedian of all time. I just saw him here at Dr. Phillips, and he hadn't toured in 9 years, and you would have never thought that he hadn't been on tour, bro. He's my all-time favorite. Chappelle would be my second, and Patrice O'Neal would be my third favorite.
Patrice is a beast.
Bro, a beast. I got to open for Patrice, and it was one of the best comedy weekends I've ever had in my life, bro.
I've
opened for some greats, man.
Yeah.
I've opened for some good dudes, man. Paul Mooney, Eddie Griffin, Patrice, Jim Norton. That opened for Jim Norton, man.
I know that is. He no, he's not from these. I'm thinking of Earthquake.
I saw Earthquake live one week, and I saw Chappelle and Kevin Hart in that same. And Earthquake was the funnier comedy.
Yeah, Earthquake, man.
Dude, I mean, and it's nonstop. It's like an hour of like for me, I'm a storyteller, so I tell you a story, then punchline. Tell you a story, then punchline. Earthquake is joke per second, joke per second. So in the first 30 minutes, you're laughing so hard that the last 30 minutes you can't laugh anymore. Because you've laughed for 30 minutes straight, bro. And then his last 30 minutes is as funny as the first 30, but you're so tired from laughing, man.
That's crazy, man. Earthquake, shout out to him, man.
Yeah, Earthquake is amazing, bro.
Shout out to you, Ken. You getting comics paid, man.
Hey, man, I'm the quote-unquote godfather of Orlando comedy, man. My job is to get these kids right and so they can move to LA, New York, Atlanta, Chicago, wherever they want to go, man, and do big things, man. And I wish all the best to my Orlando comedy family out there. I call us the San Antonio Spurs. We're the small market of comedy, but we that damn good.
I hear that, man. Where you at coming up?
I'm at the Improv tonight, the 19th. Just call the box office and say I want tickets to the anniversary show. The last week of July, I'm at...
and tell the box office you want to see Ken Miller.
You want to see Ken Miller. There's 7 comedians tonight. It's the 7th anniversary. You got 7 of Orlando's funniest headliners all on one show. And it's free. You're not going to get that for free too many places. So come on out tonight, 8 o'clock on the dot. We don't do CPT. We start all the time. Then I'm coming home, Greensboro. I'll be home the end of July. And then other than that, man, find me on Ken Miller-Comedian on Facebook, my fan page like that. And I put all my dates up. And you
put
can
all your dates up.
Man, yeah.
I hear that, man. That's what they got to do, man. I'm bringing my old lady to the Improv.
Come on out tonight, man. Appreciate it, my dude. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, brother.
Anytime, brother.
for the culture.
Alright, so we back on. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and let you introduce yourself. What's your name again?
What's going on? This is Elliot Martinez, and Orlando is mine.
Okay. So what makes Orlando yours?
Nah, I'm somewhat kidding. When I say Orlando's mine, it's because I really care about the city, like hip hop in the city, entertainment in the city, and I try to create every platform that I can to try to help the people within the city out. You know what I'm saying? So when I say it's mine, I don't mean it in an arrogant, conceited way. I mean I take care of it.
Okay. So you got love for the city.
I'm one of the gatekeepers.
Okay.
I mean,
Let's go and fuck with that. So like, so what do you do like overall in like the Orlando area to like stay in tune with everybody? Like,
I'm deep in the scene. Anytime that there's a show, actually tonight, I'm going out. I'm going to be one of the special guests at Conscience Minds is throwing an event. I believe it's at Uncle Lou's. I gotta check the flyer, but yeah.
I've been to Uncle Lou's a couple times.
Yeah, I was event manager, Florida event manager for Grind Time Now before it was recently sold. Grind Time Now was the largest battle league in the world. I'm the founder and host of the Central Florida Hip Hop Showcase. We were throwing monthly events until a couple months ago where I decided, hey, I want to post on Facebook and ask everybody what they think about radio. Everybody's been telling me, hey, give radio a shot, you know, my whole life, and I just never had any interest in it. And I was like, let's give it a shot for shits and giggles. I posted on Facebook, you know, how do I get into radio? And everybody kept saying schooling, but
That's what they say.
That's an old blueprint.
So who you know? What you know about who you know?
It's who you know, and it's also like you just got to be made for it. Like I'm not going to. I don't care how much you study how to paint. I'm not going to buy a bad painting from someone.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You could be nasty with the paintbrush and have no schooling, and I'm all for buying that piece.
Exactly. Point made. You know, so it's all about talent and perspective, really.
Yeah. So, and I'm really outspoken, so it just wound up happening, man. LV Natalia from WJHM102jams.com wound up hitting me up literally 2 weeks after I posted, how do I get into radio? And she was like, you're podcasting right now, and I had no idea why. You need to come to the station.
That's good, man.
Wound up going in for an interview.
Got the gig.
And wound up interviewing other people.
Wow.
Are you still there?
No.
Why not?
Well, technically, yes. This past Friday, on air, I snapped. Like a wet towel on air. And
can we go back in here? Is it?
Yeah, you can definitely go to my Facebook, facebook.com/The Real Elliot Martinez. I post all the live videos on there. This past Friday, I just wasn't having it, man. You know, I know how to conduct myself in a business type situation, but I took a look at the business paperwork and I saw that I had 10 days before I decide whether or not I renew. And we pay $240 a month, which is roughly $60 a week, to get a slot on airtime. And obviously, you know, that's just air fees and blah, 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 blah. So I would break it down to where, you know, that would be $60 a week. And if I book an interview for $50, let's say, it would be their interview as well as spinning their record, and I would let them lead themselves into spinning the record, and I would personally go through all the stuff just to make sure it is not like ass juice, you know, garbage. Right. So after a while, I started noticing, you know, if I do it for $50 per interview with a song spin, is reasonable, but I still got to come out of pocket $40 a month, $10 a week, yada yada. The math ain't adding up. So I started booking 2 interviews Now that's $100, but minus the $60 fee, that's $40 a week. That's still not a come up, but I wasn't doing it for the come up.
Right.
I was doing it because I truly want to keep raising awareness about the talent that we have in this city.
Right.
You know, we got a lot of talent. Unfortunately, we also have a lot of divas. So people would wind up calling out, and then I'm stuck in a sticky situation because now I have to pay for that air fee. Meanwhile, I was just trying to put you on.
Right.
So how is it that I now have to reach out last minute to find talent that I believe in to give them the free? But see, that comes with a price, because now when that person gets asked, oh, how much did you pay to get this slot? Oh, I got it for the free.
Yeah.
So now that spreads, and when I try to book someone, it's like, oh, I'm gonna just wait till he can't find nobody.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Right. And that does to tell you how artistry is today. Like, everybody swears people's gonna work for you. You gotta work for yourself, man. If you don't take the initiative to show up to a radio interview, to boost your brand, yourself, you are I don't want to say retarded. You're irrelevant then. You shouldn't even be rapping. You shouldn't even be doing music. You shouldn't be singing. You shouldn't be doing nothing, man.
You know what's crazy? I just came back from Miami a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, something like that. And I went to the DJ Khaled Impact 17 thing.
Oh, you went there?
Yeah, it was fire. Got to bump into a couple of heads. I'm not gonna name drop, but it was a good experience. And the part that I thoroughly enjoyed was the panel, where they talk about a lot of important things that people need to know, because before I'm a host, I'm an MC. I just felt as an MC that there wasn't enough of a platform for MCs to make their presence felt. So I decided to be that platform and to understand the business from the other side of the fence, because as an MC or a lyricist, I need to know what the other side of the fence is, because these are the people looking at me.
Right.
So I felt like by getting into radio, I would understand how those people think and why they won't help my people.
Right.
And if I had to be that bridge and wear two hats, so be it, you know what I'm saying? But I wound up going to Impact because I like going to these seminars and soaking up knowledge. You gotta be a sponge. Right. I mean, if you're not, then you're wasting your time. You gotta have a student mentality. I wound up out there in DJ Laz from Miami, which to me he's like the Funk Flex of the 305, you know what I'm saying? And he was talking about how MCs have a sense of entitlement. Like, I call it diva behavior, but it's true. They feel like they're entitled to free beats.
Yeah. Right.
They feel like they're entitled to free promo. They want you to share. They want you to like.
Right.
But they're quick to not be personal with you. They won't create a close personal relationship with you. They'll copy and paste Control-V all day, but they won't try to create
an organic relationship,
which makes people feel like the game is oversaturated. Therefore, even if you do have talent, before I even hear you, I'm already dismissing you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that sense of entitlement has to really change.
I was just talking to an artist last night, and she was asking, like, what can she do to get her stuff out there and stuff like that. And I was telling her, I was like, well, do you go out? Do anybody other than your sister and your brother know you rap? Because if that's the case, then you failing. I was telling her that nowadays it's like basically you either watching somebody do something with their life or you doing something with your life. You either on one side or the other when it comes to social media, entertainment, rap, you name it, anything that involves you being in front of a camera, you gotta give yourself a job. You can't wait until nobody gives it to you. Like, you went in there and you basically paid for the room, paid for the location. You basically made yourself an employee of your own business. And that's because you wanted to hustle and you wanted to get your name out there. And that's pretty much what we're doing with For the Culture is, nobody's sponsoring us to do this, at least not as of yet, but we do it because we know that there's no platform.
Absolutely. I can respect that.
Kudos to you with that one, really. I would have told her to join Find R. Kelly or something. Speaking of R. Kelly, are y'all aware of what's going on?
R. Kelly and his sex code. I gotta give me at least 1 or 2 of them.
I was reading the notes on that one.
Let the people know what's going on, Rayshawn.
Well, R. Kelly, he's got a couple female R&B artists. Their parents ain't really heard from for a minute, and then they spread out through multiple cities. So the word behind that is their parents are coming out saying R. Kelly's running a sex cult, won't let him out. But, you know, he's planning when they eat, when they sleep, what they do, when they go out. I was like, damn, that just sounds like they working on an album. Like, they working on an album, they're straight grinding.
Now I got a question.
What was that?
Are they legal?
Yeah, they're legal.
Yes.
They're legal.
So that we know.
That was the next thing.
That was
I
a
about to
rhetorical
get
question
into.
because I already looked into it. Shorty's
Yeah.
21 going on 22.
Right.
This week.
No, that was the spokesperson for.
They had DCF visit the house.
They had DCF visit the house.
Yeah, they had DCF visit the house, and the reason why no charges were brought up was because all of the women involved were of legal age of consent. So meaning they all grown women,
Which means your parents don't need to know what you're doing 24/7.
Exactly, right? They all
Unless
grown
they got
women
a
who can get in the
semester
car and leave. So
That's
this
still
is
their choice whether or not they want to
this
show
is
up.
some other, I think, some real freaky whatever thing that might be going on, and maybe the parents ain't happy about it. And that's how it got out, because if the girls were so unhappy, why aren't they?
Oh, they must have came home smelling like piss a
Can
couple
I-
times. That's
You
what
know,
it was.
I
Their
got,
parents were
um, my bad.
Mhm.
It's just important that I say this before this interview is over, right? Because this is something that frustrates me when it comes down to society in general, right? Y'all know Corey Feldman?
Never heard. Enlighten us.
Okay, you remember the Lost Boys?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, you know the comedian who was on E saying that his homeboy who passed away from the Lost Boys from like a...
Freaky Ty?
Nah.
What Lost Boys you talking about?
His name was also Corey, I believe.
Oh.
But I'm gonna show you a picture of it.
Okay.
I guarantee you'll know.
You talking about the
who that
Lost Boys movie?
is. See that dude?
I thought you were talking about the Lost Boys.
Yeah, I
Mr.
damn
Cheeks
sure was
and
thinking
them.
Freaky Time.
No, I know you was thinking Freaky Time. I'm talking about the vampire movie.
Oh,
the Lost
yeah.
Boys, the retro thing.
Yeah, I know that guy. He was on a drunk show. He was on VH1.
Yeah, he was also on the Psychic show with the skinny white boy.
Yeah.
Hollywood celebrity psychic or whatever.
He do the same thing as R. Kelly doing
Chris
now,
Angel,
right?
whatever.
All right, that's my point. Corey Feldman has been in entertainment for how long? Doing that same thing, because they're
25 plus
called
years.
Corey's Angels.
Wow.
All right? Yeah, kind of like Taz Angels. Nobody wants to go there, but let's go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? We quick to click on Taz Angels on Instagram. Oh my God, all that ass.
Right.
And then we quick to, oh, Corey's the man. Or when Sheen did it, it was all right.
And now
But
that
somebody in hip hop or a minority does it, and automatically, nah, that's not cool. But then we quick to bash him in public. But as a man, tell me one person at this table that would not want 4 girls over the age of 21 doing anything that they said inside of their house.
I mean, it sounds like some 50 Shades of Grey shit to me.
It sound like I need a couple of sex cults.
You know, like when I
I'm
was
not saying
reading
cults are cool.
But
I'm saying the double standard is trash.
Yeah, that's trash.
Yeah, it's just something to put in the media. You put R. Kelly next to the sex cult, that's just gonna, pull some strings. It's gonna make people feel,
But you can't pay for that publicity.
Right.
But you also can't pay to get it away.
Corey Feldman pays
You
for that.
also can't pay to get it away, exactly.
Oh yeah, you got a point.
You know what I'm saying? And then I guarantee you, if this was Tom Cruise, nobody in America would bat an eye.
Or Hugh Hefner.
Which he's been doing it.
I mean, he tells them how to dress, he tells them, where they work.
And they're not 21.
He may not be yelling it, but it's in the contract. You know what I'm saying? So
we want to hear your
that's
comments.
all I'm saying.
We want to hear your comments about this, though. Instagram us, tweet us, Facebook us, YouTube message us, comment, whatever. We definitely want to hear about that. Call your favorite, your mom's favorite Negro, by the way. We want to hear what y'all have to say about that. Where can they find you at, Elliot?
Find me everywhere. You could just type in. Are y'all gonna bleep this, or I can actually say?
No, we can go ahead and say nothing.
Google search who the fuck is Elliot Martinez. It'll come up in every way, shape, and form. ELLIOT Martinez with a Z. Elliot Martinez 7 on Instagram. Elliot Martinez Music on Twitter. Elliot Martinez on Facebook. It's not hard to find me. I'm the only guy with like really weird eyes and braids.
That's what's up.
Any other local news like going on? Wait, y'all watch the Summer League Championships? You watch any sports?
Nope.
Man, I went to these fool house watch the championship. I fell asleep.
Dang.
I was on drugs, but I fell asleep still though.
I just feel like all sports are fixed now.
It wasn't no laws.
Like, I know I'm going to get attacked, but I feel like every
Oh, you think it's fixed?
Is fixed.
Yeah, Vegas has something to do with that probably, but it's just entertainment. It can be fixed because
it can be.
I don't think not the Summer League. Summer League was pretty rough to watch. Summer League, you gotta
be fixed.
I'm not saying it's wrestling. I'm saying there's a Vince McMahon somewhere.
You know.
You feel me? David Stern is Vince McMahon.
I don't think the Mafia is watching Summer League like, yeah, we gonna freak this.
Alright, so we about to go ahead and close the interview right quick. I appreciate you.
Nah, thanks for having me.
Martinez, running Orlando one step at a time, wearing multiple hats and getting everything done.
Y'all go to this man Facebook, hit that outburst, y'all.
Yeah, Facebook.com/The Real Elliot Martinez. Get there and watch it.
For the culture.
For the culture.